All right, so are you ready to dive into the world of mobile games?
Oh, yeah.
Specifically, we're going to be looking at Ball Run 2048.
Okay.
Have you heard of this one?
I have. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, for our listeners out there who might not know, Ball Run 2048 is a mobile game
Uh,
where you're merging these balls together
right.
to try to reach the number 2048.
Makes sense.
But it's not that easy.
No,
There are
no.
all these crazy obstacles that get in the way.
Yeah.
So we're going to be looking at a playthrough commentary from one particular player.
Interesting.
And we're going to kind of analyze what they're doing and just how this game works.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, and maybe why people enjoy it so much.
Okay.
So this player starts off pretty confident.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they say that they are a professional 2048 player in the making.
Okay.
They've even got like a little intro sequence with music and everything.
So they're taking this seriously.
Yeah, they're definitely into it.
Right.
And right away, they get a 64 ball.
Wow. Impressive.
Yeah, so they're off to a good start.
I see.
But then things start to get a little bit harder.
Oh, yeah.
And you can see the tension in their voice.
Well, I imagine it gets pretty stressful trying to keep all those balls under control.
Yeah, and there are so many close calls where they almost lose their streak.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, they even say that this game is more stressful than a math test.
Wow.
Yeah,
I can relate to that.
me too.
Okay. So what kind of obstacles are we talking about here?
Oh, man. There's all sorts of crazy stuff.
Like what?
Like spinning bars that knock your balls off course
Oh, yeah.
and moving walls that squish them.
So you've really got to be on your toes.
Totally.
Okay.
And then there are even these things that teleport your balls to a random spot.
Oh, wow. That sounds chaotic.
It is.
So is this game like purely skill-based, or is there an element of luck involved?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah. I mean, with those teleporters, you never know what's going to happen.
Exactly. And you can see the player getting frustrated at times when things don't go their way.
Yeah.
But then there are these moments of pure joy when they manage to pull off a really tricky merge.
I bet.
Like you can hear them cheering and stuff.
So it sounds like this game is a real emotional roller coaster.
It is, for sure.
You're up, you're down, you're stressed out, you're relieved.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Makes sense.
And at one point, the player actually gives a shout out to all the late night gamers out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like 2:00 a.m. and they're still playing.
I've been there.
Me too.
Okay, so this player, they seem to be pretty good at the game.
Yeah, they are.
Do they have any tips for us?
Actually, they do.
Oh, okay, well, I'm listening.
They say that the key is to try to merge your balls on straight paths as much as possible.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because that way you have more control over where they're going.
Right.
But then, like 2 seconds later, they completely ignore their own advice.
Ha. So much for being a pro.
Yeah, right?
Well, hey, sometimes you gotta take risks,
True.
especially in a game like this where things can change so quickly. Okay, so they're playing, they're having fun, they're giving us tips. What happens next?
Well, the levels start to get really intense.
Oh, so.
The speed picks up.
Oh, boy.
The obstacles get more complicated, and it's just like chaos on the screen.
I bet.
You can really see the player's skills being put to the test.
Okay.
And then it happens.
What?
They miss a merge.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
I can only imagine.
But you know what?
Right.
They don't give up.
Good.
They just take a deep breath and they keep going.
That's the spirit.
Yeah. So in the end, they don't actually reach the 2048 tile,
Ah.
but they still get a pretty decent score.
Okay.
And you can tell they're satisfied with their performance.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like they had a lot of fun along the way.
They did, for sure.
And isn't that what gaming is all about?
Yeah, I think so.
It's not always about winning.
Right.
It's about the challenge,
Mhm.
the excitement, and the fun.
Totally.
Okay, so let's bring this back to our listeners.
Yeah.
What do you think makes games like Ball Run 2048 so compelling?
Well, I think it's the combination of things.
Like what?
Like you said, it's challenging, it requires strategic thinking,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also really satisfying when you manage to pull off a difficult maneuver.
Right.
And then there's that element of luck that keeps you on your toes.
Definitely.
You never know what's going to happen next.
Yeah, that unpredictability can be really addictive.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I think that's why people keep coming back for more,
Makes sense.
even when they get frustrated.
I think it's also interesting how this game taps into our desire for achievement.
How so?
Well, every time you merge those balls and create a bigger number, it's like a small victory.
That's true.
And those victories release dopamine in our brains, which makes us feel good.
Oh, so it's like a chemical reward system.
Exactly, and that's what keeps us hooked.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah, so even though this game might seem simple on the surface,
Yeah,
there's actually a lot going on beneath the surface.
that's a good point.
It's a game of skill strategy and a little bit of luck, and it's designed to keep us engaged and coming back for more.
Totally.
So, to our listener,
Yes.
what do you think is the most compelling aspect of games like this?
Is it the challenge?
The strategy?
The dopamine rush?
Or maybe something else entirely?
Let us know your thoughts.
We'd love to hear from you.
Until next time.
Happy gaming!
Bye.
Bye!